everyone. Figured I'd jump in, add a little bit of audio just to kind of go over for the second hour what we're going to be finishing up in this render. I was definitely wanting this to be kind of a cool lo-fi, no interruption. Uh-oh. A little bit of audio. Let me turn that down. Okay. Just so there's some context to what we're doing here. This is our Christian Siriano Ooh La Rouge perfume. One of the sexiest bottles I've ever seen, to be honest with you. So I figured this would be a really fun one to try to model because of its very unique shape, the star shape. If you have any questions about how I got the star shape or anything like that, drop it down in the comments. Shout out to everybody commenting in the comments. So grateful for you. So grateful to have you here. Really pumped about this model. I think it's going to be really beautiful, really sexy. But I did use the extra. Let's see. So it's like our extra shapes here, and I used a simple star to get the shape of the base of our model. So I'm just going to continue to model. I'm going to work on the petals. Luckily, I kind of did a dry run on this already yesterday, so I feel pretty good about doing the petals and all that jazz. So I'm just going to work on the petals now and just kind of use proportional editing to get it to have this really unique shape. Let me turn off proportional editing for now. I'm still trying to find the perfect balance between the lo-fi streams where it's just kind of like something you can put on in the background and just enjoy, and I'm not like gabbing away. So let me know, what you prefer, what works better. This particular one, first half, I kind of just let the model do the explaining, but I think for the second part of the stream, I'll just explain a little bit further what it is that I'm doing. So now I'm just kind of working on the petals for the top of the bottle here, and we're just going to give it the unique shape and then utilize proportional editing to really get the shape exactly how we want it. So I'm essentially just putting a loop cut there so that I can create this like cone shape, really. So essentially it's just kind of like a cone shape on either side for the petal. Also, if I come out of isolation mode, grab on the Z. Also, if you're just wanting to know what I'm pressing, it's all over here to the left. So let me scale this whole thing on the Y, and I'm gonna rock out like that for now. Just a basic shape. That's just a basic plane that I used. I also think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an additional loop cut here. Maybe grab it on the X, like that. And then I think what I'm gonna do also is just widen the space just a bit more, because we're gonna tuck this. We're gonna tuck this into this part of the perfume, so it doesn't necessarily have to be like a point, but we're gonna just start with this basic shape here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, the whole thing. So I'm going to select all. I'm going to grab on the Y, on the X, just to kind of bring it over so that we can start forming our petals. I'm going to grab on the Z, and I'm going to bring it down to about, it kind of goes, it tucks in there. So I'm going to grab it on the X, And something that I did for my dry run yesterday is I just duplicated these planes and then individually added the subdivision, added the solidify modifier. I think I'm going to do a little bit different today, and I'm going to get this petal exactly how I want it before I duplicate it. And by that I mean I'm going to add a bunch more loop cuts so that when I do subdivide it, it doesn't become really rounded. I don't want it necessarily super rounded. I want it to maintain that sharpness, and then we'll use proportional editing to kind of pull and tug and move it around. So I just want to get it in its position where we want it on the model. So it's kind of here, like tucked in right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in the top view here, and I'm just going to add some more loop cuts like this. I'm going to put one here and one here, and it'll all make sense once I add the the subdivision modifier. So I think that's where we want to be with it. I'm going to tab out. Okay, we're going to leave it like that. And I think that's pretty good. Let's tab out of edit mode. And what I want to do, I'm trying to give myself the least amount of work. So I'm wondering if I want to duplicate it now. I think we can duplicate it now. So I'm going to actually tab back into edit mode. We go into isolation mode. I'm going to click 2. Actually, I'm going to click 1, and I'm just going to select this vertex right here, and I'm going to shift S to put the cursor to selected. So I'm going to put it right on that vertex right there. I'm going to tab out, and then I'm going to shift D, create another petal, and I just want to rotate it on the Z. The origin's like completely in the wrong place, so hold on. Let me origin to geometry, and then I'm going to rotate it on the Z. Sorry. Let's rotate it at the 3D cursor so that it'll just rotate completely. So I'm just going to rotate it like that. One of my favorite things that I've learned through just like practicing modeling is using this 3D cursor. It is incredible when it comes to just like pivoting and moving things around. So once you kind of get the hang of that, it's absolutely super helpful. So just kind of looking at the model here and seeing kind of where everything is, I want to just do, let me see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 different petals. So without being too rigid, or too extreme with what I'm doing, I'm just gonna duplicate a bunch. Shift D, rotate on the Z. We'll move things around and kind of fix it as we go, but there's 4 petals. Shift D, rotate that on the Z. Let's grab that on the Z right there. Just want to rotate that on the Z a little bit better. So a few more petals on the left side here, so that's what I'm going to work with. We'll do that. We can adjust the size and everything soon enough. We're going to add one more. Grab on the Z here. And then let's also rotate on the Z, and we'll just put it right here for now. So these are our petals. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get one more. How many do we have? We have 6. So let's just add one more here. We'll grab on the, let me come here, grab on the Z, just bring it up. We'll just place it here for now. Okay, beautiful. So now what I meant when I said, before I put all the modifiers, I am going to add, let me save it here before we start adding modifiers. a subdivision modifier. I keep saying solidify, but that's not what I mean. We're doing a subdivision modifier. If you notice, much hasn't changed, and it's because I added all those loop cuts. So I found that 3 or 4 is good. I'm gonna do 3 for now, just to keep the load a little bit less on the computer. And then what I'm gonna do is, let me see, I'm gonna add a solidify modifier like that. And I think, you know what, let me apply the scale to everything just to make sure. Oh my God. Wait a minute, let me click that off. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, there we go. Just want to make sure that all the scales are applied. 0.005, I think 0.01. I think that's okay. Maybe that's a little bit better. We can play with that a little bit. But for now, I'm gonna apply the subdivision modifier, because if I tab into edit mode, go into my proportional editing, we're gonna put this back to, I think it was median point that we were using. But if I go to my proportional editing right now and start moving things, I mean, I guess it's still pretty okay. But if I apply the subdivision modifier, it gives me a lot more vertices to work with, and it gives us a lot more control over the shape of this petal. But I'll try it this way and see like what that gives. Let's bring that up a lot, and we'll just kind of, now we're just going to be playing with it. So this is a bunch of trial and error moments at this moment. I think I feel more comfortable applying the subdivision modifier, because I don't know, it just feels better when I do it that way. So let me apply that. And now see, I have a bunch more to work with, you know? And then it just helps with, I feel like it's just better, you know what I mean? I can just kind of play with it much better. So I'm gonna grab this here actually, and now I'm just gonna play with it and try to get this as close to the model as I can. So let me go into front view here. Just being honest and real, this is not going to be exactly, because it's just not. Alright. But I can get it pretty close, I think. I also appreciate this because, so cute. I also appreciate this because it does help with just like learning proportional editing and all of that. I think this is a great way to just practice modeling, and this is a huge reason why I do these, is because I find that it helps with just learning how to model, really. you get to use all the tools and just practice, you know. This is all just about practice. Nothing's really that serious or set in stone. It's just trying this out, seeing what this gives. But it also is really fun to have these beautifully elegant perfume renders completed. I love that. I'm gonna just kind of pull this. I want to pull this up because we're giving more of that. Let's bring that down. Let's bring this down even. I remember in the beginning of my blender career, I was so intimidated by proportional editing. I loved the idea of it and I thought it was so cool, but I was like, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. But now that I've kind of realized how useful of a tool it is, it's just really cool to be able to pull and manipulate your model in a way that you maybe can't do with just moving on the X, Y, or Z, you know what I mean? So I was really intimidated by this perfume bottle. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. But I was just so intimidated by it because I was like, oh my God, the petals are so intense. But it's like, if you just tackle it literally one vertex at a time. I don't know, I really like this. Even though it looks nothing like, I'm gonna scale it down though, it's a little big. Yeah, if you just, you know, take it one thing at a time, it definitely, there's no project that's like too big. There's no project that's too big. So, I think, let me see, I'm going to scale it. I think it's just a little big for the model right now, but it's okay. This is literally a trial and error. Play around with it. I think we can pull the entire thing much closer. There. And I want to pull, let's maybe pull this side up more. This also could be a fun opportunity for me to just like make this what I want, honestly. It's not going to be perfect. Also, I did a little research before I started working on this, looking for, there it is, looking for the font that Christian Siriano uses for the brand. And a lot of times a brand will allow for you to see the type of font that they use, but this font is extremely protected. So I found a similar font. It's not going to be exactly. So this is just our rendition of the perfume. Won't be an exact replica, but very close. And I think that's just fine, right? That's the name of the game. That's what it's all about. And that's kind of where we are with it. I feel comfortable with that. I'm gonna just grab this down just a little. Let's bring this whole thing down just a bit. And thank you to everybody in here for the live. I really look forward to these on Mondays. This has been a part of my shadow work month, doing a lot of just like self-reflection and just trying to keep promises to myself, if I'm being honest. So I really do look forward to doing these lives and coming in here and just challenging myself creatively, even if I feel overwhelmed or intimidated by it. I have to remember what we used. I think it was 0.008 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and just challenging myself creatively, because a lot of times I'll look at these models and I'll start to feel like, oh my God, you can't do that. And I find that in a lot of creative things, like painting. A lot of times I'll have an idea for a painting and I'll be so excited to do it, but that imposter syndrome absolutely sinks in a lot. So coming on here and trying these perfumes and just seeing if I can has been challenging, but I'm really grateful that I've kind of forced myself to show up and to do this. So thank you to every single person who comes in and hangs out even for a second. I'm really grateful. It really means the world to me. It's really been, this month has been really, really eye-opening, life-changing, and I'm just really, really grateful for the entire experience, if I'm being honest. I'll just do a top view here and try to really get in the center about. And I'm gonna grab, just give it a nice curve. This one's not too manipulated too much, so I don't want to go too crazy. Let's grab you on the Z. Also, the shortcut for proportional editing is O. So I'm a shortcut girly. I love a good shortcut. So once I finally came to terms with that, I was like, oof, we love this. I need to pull this much more. It needs to be a lot more vertical. Also, another really cool experience from my last live last Monday, where we did Marc Jacobs Daisy, which is literally one of my favorite perfumes. Love Marc Jacobs. What's going on here? Is that I did the perfume in one sitting, which is absolutely outrageous. When I tell you all the other perfumes I've done, if you look on my channel, I have Ariana Grande Thank You Next, which is probably my number one perfume. I love that perfume. I keep that perfume in my collection. I just love the sweet, girly smell of it. It's just my absolute favorite, hands down. So I absolutely had to model that bottle, but it took me weeks and weeks to do that. And because again, when a bottle has a certain curvature or whatever, it's really overwhelming and it's intimidating. And if you don't know how to manipulate the vertices in a certain way, it can really discourage you, if I'm being honest. It can really kind of take you out. And I found a lot of times that I would get really overwhelmed, intimidated, and I would need to take a break or kind of just stop doing it. So to be able to complete an entire perfume render in one sitting is absolutely insane. And for me, it just shows my growth. And And I'm always appreciative when there's like a clear, tangible, obvious growth, because sometimes with this journey of 3D, it can feel like you're not growing, like you're not getting better, like you're not good enough, like you don't belong in this industry. But one thing I've learned with my shadow work is that one, this isn't for anyone else. It's for you. It's your journey. It's your experience. It's for you. It's very personal, and there's no rules. There's no rules. If I was doing this for a client, we'd be talking completely differently right now, but I'm not. I'm just doing this for myself. So it's like, why am I putting all this extra pressure? It's silly. Just enjoy it. Enjoy learning. Enjoy the process. And that's what I've been trying to do with these live streams. Like low pressure, minimal pressure. That's really what I'm hoping to create with these, which is why I was like, maybe we should just lo-fi it up and kind of call it. But I recognize that I'd like to explain a little bit about what I'm doing. So I was like, let me just jump in and talk. So I like this petal like this, I think. I'm just going to kind of leave it. I think it's really cute. It looks really good. I like that. I'm going to tab out. I'm going to save it just cause. It's beautiful. I think also this excites me for making like flowers. I was really intimidated by flowers in 3D, but it's like, look at me getting better at proportional editing. We're going 3 with it. I think last time I went 4 and it was a bit much, so I'm going to keep it at 3. Solidify, and we're going to go 0.008 like that. Okay, and let's apply this modifier. Tap into edit mode and we'll start manipulating this one as well. Select all. I'm going to rotate on the X. Let me see. These petals are making me so happy. They're making me so happy because I'm just like, this is so beautiful. I'm going to rotate on the Z a bit. I think that's a good starting point. Oh. Can I grab on the Y and just kind of pull you in more? Little like that. Right? And then we'll scale you down just a smidge, but you are bigger. So let's do that. And then I'm going to grab you on the X and just kind of pull you here. And can I rotate you a bit more? And then I'll rotate you on the... Let's rock out with this for now. And then we'll move it around where we need. Because this one can be the one that's in front. just move you around a bit. Let's grab you a bit. All right, I kind of like that. And now we just need to figure out, maybe if we go over the top view, select you, and we're gonna put you, let me see where I want you. We're gonna have you be, you're gonna go in front. You're gonna go in front. So I'm gonna grab, turn proportional editing off. I'm gonna grab on the X, pull you forward about here, and then I wanna rotate you on the Z a bit. This is a bit of a, maybe like that. Can we scale you down like that? Beautiful. And you're just a bit taller, so I'm gonna grab, turn proportional back on. I'm gonna grab, we're gonna make this bigger, and we're gonna just pull you up. Kind of like here. Like that. And I'm gonna tab out. I'm gonna take you. And I think I want to rotate you on the Z a bit more. And then maybe rotate even on the X. Let's get that origin to geometry, shall we? Alright, rotate on the, maybe on the Y a bit. Yeah, like that. So give us a little bit more. And I want to get the origin here. And I maybe want to rotate you just a bit. Then I'm going to grab you on your Z and put you here. And then I'm going to tap into edit mode. I'm going to put proportional editing back on. I want to grab you and pull you up a whole lot more. And I think that's giving what it needs to give. That's kind of giving the aesthetic of what we need. Tab out, I'm going to save it because you never know. And I actually think this is a bit, I think it's good. I think we're doing pretty good. We can adjust, make any tweaks that we need to, but I think so far, so good. Let's go ahead and get the next one going. This is taking a little time, but I'm appreciative. Same situation, subdivision, surface modifier. We're gonna go 3 with it. I'm gonna also generate the solidify for 1.008 with it. I want to apply the scale. And again, let's get the origin to geometry here. We'll just do it early. I'm gonna select everything. Let's origin to geometry everything at this point. Just this one here is tab. I'm gonna select all, and I'm gonna rotate on the Y. Let's get proportional editing off. I want to rotate on the X, maybe? Yeah. All right, we're gonna rotate on the X. Let's get that big leaf standing straight up. It's coming together. I'm so pumped about this. This is probably our biggest leaf, so I'm just gonna leave it at this right now. And let's just tweak it a bit, right? So getting proportional editing back on. I'm gonna face forward, and I'm just gonna start pulling her over like that. Let's also pull you this way. It's really good. Let's make it, tweak it in just a bit so that we can get those little, looks a little not as like super, it's not like super smooth, so we want to pull and tweak. Actually, I think the tip will leave the way that it is, and then up here give it a little bit of a imperfect look here. I'm going to select in the middle, and I'm just going to grab, let's make you bigger, and we're going to pull you back. Pull you back like that. Is that giving? We'll grab, we'll shrink you down, have you come in just a bit, like that. And we'll grab you, pull you out. Okay, now let's focus on the base here and how we're gonna rock this part. Let me select everything. I'm gonna grab on the Y and pull her a little closer. I'm not quite in there yet because I need to grab you and pull you up and in a little bit better. Kind of like that. And then let me select everything. And I think I'm gonna make you just a little bit smaller. So let's just scale you down just a bit. That looks pretty good, I think, for now, until we can get those others. But this one's pretty basic, so we're gonna leave it like that for now. It's a bit of an overlap, so if I can still, let me see, let's grab you. Let's just pull you back just a bit, so you're just hugging the other petal. Same here. Pull you back and down. Do kind of like that. That looks fabulous. Beautiful. Again, this is just a rough rendition of what we're doing. So let's go ahead and get this one working. I'm gonna add subdivision. Oops. We're going 3. Solidify. Let's just apply the subdivision. Let's tab on out of here. Select all, and I'm going to rotate you on the X, is it? I can never remember. Let's rotate you on the Y. And I'm going to rotate you on the Z. And the X. Let's do a little bit more of the Y here. Kind of like that. Right? Like that is amazing. Let's grab you on the Y and pull you towards us, right? This way. I'm going to scale you down a bunch. Pull you forward, and I'm going to grab you over on the X. So you're kind of sitting in with the big one here. Grab you on the Z. This is all like in the top. And I rotate you on the Y just a bit more. I think actually it's good there. I'm going to pull you in a little bit more. And I think we will rotate you just a bit more like that. That way you're kind of sitting in there like that. I like that. That looks good. Let's pull over to the side. Kind of rotate you. A little like that. About there. Beautiful. It's exactly where we want you. We love this for us. I'm trying to decide. Oh no, it's just a reflection. So we're good on that front. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just turn my proportional editing back on. I'm going to grab and pull you back so you're like sitting in there sweetly. Let's go ahead and grab, tug, and start to just kind of pull. Make it a little bit wider. That looks good there. We'll grab this, pull you in. Again, we're just kind of roughly doing what would look like a natural glass blown top. Not too much, not stressing it too much. Just giving what needs to be gave. I'm gonna tab out. Let's go ahead and save that little bit right there. Okay. I think we have our 1, 2, and 3, and we're gonna need one right here. So let's get this other one. So I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna rotate you on the Z here. And then let's grab you on the Y and the X. And let's kind of rotate you on the Y here. Then the Z. And then I'm going to grab you again on the Y and pull you down. And then the Z up here. On our side view. Kind of want something like that. Scale you down a bunch. Before we get into anything, I just want to put it in the place that it belongs. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Vision modifier. Go up to 3. Is that our solidify mattifier? 0.008 with that. And let's go ahead and apply that. I'm going to tab into edit mode here. And let's look on the side. I just want to get dead in the center there. And I'm just going to grab the whole thing. I'm going to select all, and I'm going to go ahead and shrink it a bunch. Pull it down on the Z. And I think now we can rotate it on the Y a lot more. A little bit more like that. I think what we'll also do is we're going to pull this out so it's a little bit more tucked in there. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and grab, leave it like that, shrink that down. Edit mode, and I want to grab you. I'm going to grab you and bring you out a bit. There we go. And then I'm going to grab this. You on the Y and just pull you in ever so slightly like that, so you're kind of hugged in a little bit more. Pull you in even more, kind of like that. Let's save it here, and we have one more petal to do. One more. I'm gonna take a quick restroom break, and we will be right back, my friends. this last petal finished so we can move on to the next thing. Okay. Alright, so I think it's looking pretty good. I'm really happy about it. Alright, last time we're going to add a subdivision modifier. We're going to go up to 3. We're going to add a solidify modifier, doing 0.008. Apply that. And we're going to work this out. Let's do a front view here. This one's much smaller than all the others, but if you can see, there's a big curve here, so it's kind of covering the entire front part of the bottle. So let's get that looking how it should. So I'm actually gonna grab, maybe about there, maybe further back. Okay, let's grab. I'm gonna grab, let's make this much bigger. Give it a deep kind of like that. I'm gonna grab here, pull it up. I think that looks pretty good. Let's grab here. And now I'm gonna make this smaller. Pull it down a bit more. And then I'm gonna grab like that. Little something like that. And I think I'm going to select all and I'm going to scale it on the X ever so slightly. It is much smaller, so a lot slightly. And then let's go on the side view here. Not quite. Okay. Let's grab on the Z. Kind of rock that out, and then I'm gonna scale it on the Y actually, because it's not that thick. And let's grab it on the Y and pull it a lot more forward, little like that. And then I think this goes up a whole lot more. Maybe like that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's keep going though. Let's come up a bit more. Again, this is not like an exact replica, but we're trying to get as close as we can while still having like some creative freedom. So now, actually want to rotate now. Just give it a bit of a rotation like that. And then I'm going to select all and we're going to grab and pull it in. Because it's basically like touching this one. Then I'm going to bring it down on the Z. Because that's kind of what it's giving, right? Like that. And then what I'm going to do is get up in here somewhere. I'm just selecting random vertices. I'm going to just bring it down so it kind of works like that. This is good. And then let's grab this and hug it up a bit. I'm also going to grab this one. Yeah, and we're going to bring it up in there like that. And then let's get this pulled down a whole lot more. Actually, roll this up. I'm going to get like here. curving up, we want to get you curved down. So I'm going to rotate you. I want to rotate you on the X. Nope. Just rotate you on the Y. And get you turned down a whole lot more. Bit like that. I like this better than the original design. I think I want to kind of leave it like that. I'm gonna grab this. I also have this thing with like, I don't know, it's not like perfectionism. I'm not like a perfectionist or anything, but I do find that like I find it really hard to deviate from the original model. It just really stresses me out. So this is me challenging myself in a way and just kind of letting the creativity of it flow. This is just a project for fun. So why can't it be just that? Why can't it be however I see fit? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna grab this and pull it in a lot more. Like that. And if I can, just want to rotate this up just a little bit. Smallest amount. Kind of like that. And I also want to kind of rotate this entire edge upward. So let's see. We want to rotate it on the Y. Ooh, maybe the X is where I'm looking. Yeah. Just a bit like that. I think I like it there. I like it there. Let's get this pulled down a little bit though. Yes. I love this actually. I'm really, really loving the shape. I do think this might need to be a little larger. Maybe I just stretch it out a bit. So let's select this one. And I'm just gonna pull her out just a bit so that it kind of, it gives. Oh, my best friend wants the link. Let me send her the link. Do I even know how to do that? Of course I know how to do that. Let's see. Here we go. Sending it over. Great. Okay. Let's see. Just want to make sure that I'm in the chat still. Okay, just in case. I really like this. I think now we can just kind of tweak. I can give this a little rotation on the Z, just a little. Kind of like that. I think it's very close to the actual model. I really do like it. It's a little bit deeper of a dip. So let's maybe fix that. Even though I like the dip, it's a good dip. You know what I mean? It's a good dip. But let me see. I'm gonna grab, just pull it up. Hold on, let me much smaller because I don't want to pull too much. I also don't want the vertices to overlap, so I'm just trying to be cautious of that too. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. We'll just do a little something like that. Maybe like that. And then let's see. I'm gonna grab that and just make it look a little bit better. Okay. I think that's giving. I think that's great. I think that's great. If you notice in the reference, these kind of touch, so I'm gonna fix that just a little bit. I'm gonna take this one. Let's get the origin back to the geometry, and I'm gonna rotate her kind of like that, and then bring it in like that, so it kind of overlaps a little bit better. I'm gonna leave it there because I like it like that. Hold on. We can do better. We can do better. Okay. That's what we want. Kind of right there. And let's pull her in too. Oh no, too much. Just like that much. Okay. That feels good. I think that looks really good. I'm saving every second because I'm terrified for Blender to crash, literally. Okay. I think the petals are pretty good. This one's a little large, but I ain't tripping. Let me just try to fix maybe this is a little too deep. It's a little too deep. Okay, that's better. That's better. I think it's fine. I think it works. I think it works. I think it looks pretty good. All right, let's start. Okay, let's start shade smoothing. So I'm gonna just kind of select everything and shade smooth. Let me see something. No. Okay, let me do these up here. I'm gonna shade smooth these regular. Yeah. We'll shade smooth that. I gotta grab this and fix it. It's not where it needs to be. Okay, that's better. Yeah, okay, we'll shade smooth. And then this one I'm gonna shade smooth by angle. Because we want it smooth, but we still want the rigid sharpness of the turn. You see right there? So that'll look better once we put the material over top of it. So now I think the only thing we have left to do is the material. And that's really all. We can also do the necessary, let's see, I'm gonna put the cursor to origin, and then I'm gonna no, oh yeah, I guess that's fine. Then we're gonna just add a cylinder. Let's tab into edit mode. I'm gonna scale this down a whole lot. We don't need proportional editing any longer. I'm gonna scale it down even more, and then I'm just gonna click the top portion, grab on the Z, and that's our the tube that goes in the center. Let's select the whole thing. I'm gonna scale it down even more, make it skinnier. And then let's just E on the, let's grab on the Z here, bring it up, bring it down, swap out the end because you want to get every little bit of that perfume. just gonna put a couple loop cuts. We'll do like, I don't know, like 4. And then I'm gonna turn proportional editing back on. And I'll just select maybe this one. We face forward and select all. This is not the vibes. Let me select everything. Just making sure. I don't know why it does double. It's actually really annoying. Let me see something. Oh, you know what? Let me do edges. Let me click edges. Yeah, you see that there? You see that it's like 2? I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if cylinders have like a problem, but let me see how I can. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna M by distance so that it becomes 1. Because I think it like duplicated. Let's see if that helps. So I'm gonna grab that. Look at that. That is annoying. I don't know why that's happening. I hate that for me. Okay, here's what we'll try. We'll also do this. We'll do linked. Nope. I don't know why there's 2. It's really annoying. Why it's like duplicated. And that's fine if it's duplicated. Just let me move all the duplicated is what I'm saying. Let's see. It's alright. I'm gonna select maybe this much here. You see that it's like missing some vertices here. That's like a glitch. But I'm gonna move it and I'm gonna just give it a bit of a just so it doesn't look so. And then I'm gonna select this is really not doing it for me. Oops. Let's get rid of it. We're gonna try again. But this time let's just try it like this. Try one more time. Oh, you know what? Let's not do this. Let's actually not even do this. I know what's better. We're gonna change this. We're gonna go with curve. Let's just do a curve and call it a curve, right? And then I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm gonna X, delete the vertices, and then E on this. Let's just rotate on the 90, rotate on the X90. Let's go ahead and scale you down. I'm gonna grab you on the X, pull you up a bit, and then I'm gonna grab this, grab that, pull you all the way up. Let's do that. Look at you. All right, let's get you in there. like that. All right, let's grab you. Get you maybe there. I'm gonna grab you. How high are you? Can't even tell. Let's see. Oh, it's literally perfect. Okay. Let's leave it like that. Select our curve and let's just make it an object. So we're gonna go to geometry. Oh, hell no. Just tab into edit mode. Honestly, don't piss me off. Alright. It's not gonna work for me. This is really this is so annoying. Okay, we're gonna do this. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna draw. And I'm gonna just go like that. And then now I'm gonna fix it. Right? I don't have to be obnoxiously turned in here because it's usually pretty straight. So we'll go like that. And then let's grab you, pull you up, and this has to be so much smaller. I don't know, let's try that. A little bit bigger than that. That feels good. I'll rotate you a bit. Let's pull you down. This one. Oh. Okay. Let's do that. And then we'll just kind of grab it, maybe like that. This one will also rotate it like that. Okay. That was way harder than I expected. Oh, there we go. I think it's better now. Okay. I was muted that whole time. Not the whole time, but we back now. Okay. So that's good. Do like that. And okay, so that part is done. And now I'm really liking that. That's good. I might, let me see something. I don't think I want this loop cut here because it's not giving. So I think I'm gonna, dissolve this one. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, that's much better. I think that works. All right, I think the modeling is done. So we did the modeling in about 2 hours. Which is crazy because I never am able to complete these so quickly. So I'm really grateful to have been able to like figure out how to do these in a much faster way. I'm just gonna kind of tweak this just a little. Let me turn my proportional editing back on. And go back to vertices. There we go. And let's rotate a bit more like that. Maybe not quite, because then it kind of creates that. Let's see. Can I grab? Alright, and then I think I'll rotate it. There we go. So that it just like fits a little bit more snugly there. This is just like tiny little tweaks that we're doing. So, okay, let me see. Can I pull? You up some more. Let's get in there. A little bit of that, and then I'm going to take this one and fix it up just a bit. Grab you and do that. All right. Now let's go to the back and see what that's giving, because that's kind of ugly. We hate that. So let me tab out and grab this one. Pull that back a bit so that it's not kind of doing that. So let me grab. Okay. Here we go. God, that jumping is really frustrating. Let me see if I can change that in the preferences. Let's do 06 maybe, because that is annoying. I hate that. Alright. Oof, now that's too tough. That quick. I need to change the orbital. Let me see. I'm going to put it at 0.055 and see if that gives. Let me save that and see. Sorry, I hate when it does that quick jump. It really throws me off. It like bothers me. Okay. Let me see how that is. Oof. Okay. I'm just gonna go back and leave it. I'll just deal with it. Okay. Okay, let me close the window. Sheesh. Doesn't really change anything. It still does that. get to, oh, let's fix that. I don't know, it's just like, just fix that little, pull this down a bit. Like that. Alright, and then I'm just gonna grab the Y and pull it in just a little. Okay, better. Let me go here one more time. I promise I'm almost done with these petals. I'm just like not wanting it to look crazy in the final render. So I'm just gonna try to fix whatever might look kind of weird. Okay. Alright. I think we're good there. Okay, I think we're good there. Feeling good about it. Pretty close to the original model, I think. This is a bit hard of a curve, but we're gonna leave it for now. Let's do some shading. Look at that. It's really, really annoying. All right, let's jump into the shader editor and let's get some color on this thing. Before we do that, let's put it on a plane. How about that? Put on a plane. Let's give it 5 like that. I'm actually going to grab on the Y and pull it back a bit. A little something like that. Let's add a camera just so we have something to look through. Give ourselves a new window. Alright, let's grab on the Z, grab on the Y and pull it back a bit. And we'll kind of just rock out right there. For now, just do that. Now let's jump into our shader editor. We'll go into camera view. Let's do a new material, and we'll name this bottle. And instead of principal PSTF, we'll do a glass PSTF. And then I'm gonna add a color ramp, but I'm also gonna add a gradient texture. So let's plug that into surface. So sorry. Let's put you there, you there, you there. And then we're gonna control T so that we can like control where the gradient goes. So this is basically all we'll need for the texturing. So before, let's rotate. I think we're rotating on the X. So let's see, let's rotate 90. Sorry, maybe it's not the X, maybe it's the Y. Yeah, that's what we want. We're rotating on the Y. I don't know if we want to put the UV into the vector. Is that better? Nope. Normal into the vector? Nope. Okay. Or object into the vector. Just making sure. So I think we're going to keep generated into vector. Linear for the gradients. And that's about where we want it, honestly. This color, we'll just use this as a reference. So that for that color. And then I'm going to use the same color. Oops. That's fine. This one, I'm going to use the same red. And then I'm just going to take this and pull it down. So it's still red, but black. And then we're going to jump here. We're also going to go into cycles because it just glass looks better in cycles. And I want to add a few lights to my scene. So let's go Shift A, light, and we're going to add an area light. So let's grab on the Z. We'll just put it directly overhead. And let's change this one to that. We're going to look through our camera here. Little like that. I'm also going to add, let me see, I'm going to go back into my shading. I'm going to Shift D, grab another light. Let's rotate it. Grab. Let's turn our light up. So let's go to maybe 50. Up here, we'll do the same, maybe 60. It's going to give a little bit more. Still not looking so fabulous, but we're going to get there. Now I'm going to take this and we're going to add a ground texture. You can still make it like a gray, like a little classy gray. Let's see what 200 gives. The light ain't giving nothing right now. 250. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I have my assets here. I'm gonna go to my asset browser, and I already have a let me see, my catalog. Let's see, it might be. I'm gonna put worlds. I'm just gonna drop it in there. So now we already have lighting in the world, and this is better. I go to GPU. We'll denoise it. A little bit better. Can we pull this up just a bit? Yeah, I think that's good. Let's also bring that ground up a little bit more. All right. Let's go ahead and get. So I'm gonna select all these little petals, everything literally. It all has the same. Actually, I'm wrong. We're just gonna do a new. I'm gonna get rid of this one. Glass BSCF. I'm gonna put that there, and we're just gonna do. We gotta pull that up a whole lot. It'll be really bright. not a gradient. And then I'm going to select all these babies. This one, and then Control L, link materials so that they're all red. And then our little guy here, we're going to do gold. And we'll just select maybe that color and crank that metallic all the way up. And then click gold. I think we can go a little bit more yellow. Just a little. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Right. Now let's get rid of this reference here. And let's just render the image and see what it looks like. So we'll do, let's just do 10. And I just want to see what the image looks like if we render it out. We also have to do where it says text right there. We got to put the logo in there. But all in all, I mean, it looks pretty much like the bottle, if I'm being honest. It's pretty sexy. Just got to get this glass BSCF to look a little bit better. But not bad. This is the final render, what it would look like. The black's a little too black though, so we kind of got to adjust that. But I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe we can brighten this up just a smidge so it's not so aggressive. Still a gradient, but not as aggressive. I think that looks pretty good. And let's go ahead and get the, I forgot about the logo, to be honest, totally. So I'm gonna get the logo going. So let's go back into our layout. I'm gonna save this for now. And let's get our logo. I'm gonna isolate ya. Go here. Tab into edit mode. I think it should be solid. This is about the closest I could find to the actual font, but I think we are just good. I'm gonna tab, I'm gonna scale the whole thing. Let's come on out of isolation mode. Let's scale it even more. I want to rotate on the Y and rotate on the Z. Like that. Let's grab on the Z. I'm going to scale it down. And then let's grab on the X, scale it a bit more. Let me just look at a reference photo here really quickly with how the logo looks in the on the perfume. Okay. So it goes about up halfway, so I'm going to scale it up a bit more. You know what? Can we scale on the Z? It's kind of like that. Let me see. And then I think I'm going to rotate on the Z 90. Oh. So I think we gotta flip it. actually much smaller, so I'm gonna tab. Oh, nope. I'm gonna scale on the Z. It's much smaller than I'm seeing, to about here. And I think that's kind of the vibes. It's kind of what it looks like. Let me grab on the Y, pull it out. Maybe like here. Get you back here. I'm gonna grab on the Z. Pull it up just a bit. Let's get you out a little bit more. Now I think we're good. Like that. And now I think we can rotate it. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna grab on the Y again. Grab on the Z. Y again. And I'm gonna rotate just like that. And I think that, ooh, look at that. There we go. Let's bring her up just a little. And I think, oof. Do like that. And then we can proportional edit so that it's kind of more flush. Don't love it. Let's pull it out just a smidge. Grab on the Y a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Let's get that saved. Right. That's exactly how we want it to look. Okay. Now I'm gonna convert this to a mesh. So let's convert to mesh. And then I'm gonna go into this side view here. I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm just gonna grab maybe this area here. I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna make this whole thing bigger. Just give it a bit of a, ooh. You better not crash on me, Blender. Oh my gosh. Luckily we just saved it, so oh no. Blender, don't do this to me. Alright, we might be crashing, which I am not surprised. So I'm gonna shut this one down, this stream down, I'll come back and finish with a new live, and we'll kind of rock out until it's completely done, because I think we lost it. I think we lost the blender. But before I end this one, I just want to say thank you to everybody who jumped in, everybody who kind of hung out with me today. I know this one was had a few more technical glitches than normal with sound and everything, but for the most part, the stream part is there for you if you do want to kind of put it on in the background and watch it. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back here next Monday for sure as well, but I'm going to have to shut Blender down, which means I'm going to have to shut the stream off to redo a new one. So we'll be back for part 2 where we can kind of finish the scene in totality, because Blender wants to crash on me. Unfortunately, look at that. The moment we were right at the finish line. We're right there. Anyway, let me go ahead and shut this one down. I'll start up a new one shortly. But thank you guys for coming to hang today, and I'll be back soon. Bye, everybody.